Hey, good afternoon, good nearly afternoon. It's approaching 12 noon. It's about 3 or 4 minutes to, and we'll be launching into our midday movement snack, which is full of a bit more variation than our AM and 4 PM movement snacks, which tend to consist of a lot of the same repeated over stuff. But saying that, it's not boring, and it's definitely got something good going about it. But our 12 noons tend to be a bit more varied. So you might not see much repeats going on through the 12 noons. But this is a variety is the spice of life, apparently. I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. Tell me if you've got any special sayings that you stick by. Another one of mine is you make your bed, you lie in it. So you get yourself into trouble, you sort yourself out. The end. You get yourself into a bit of a tight, sticky spot, and I'm afraid you've only got yourself to blame. So you make your bed, you lie in it. What about you, Margaret Wood? What about you, Carol Elliott? What sayings do you swear by in your existence? Are there any others? My cousin, who did some decorating the other day, he says, "It is what it is." It's as simple as that. It is what it is, mate. Right, any more? Because come on, I'm running out now. I need some helping hand with this for the next couple of minutes, whilst hopefully we boost up a couple more numbers and get a few more of you joining in at this midday movement snack. I don't know if my eye's looking any better. I feel like I just need to rub it, but I'll try not to, because I know you lot will probably start telling me off a little bit. Vivian's just arrived. I think we've got a bit of a slow uptake for the noon today. Busy. It kind of interrupts the day now, doesn't it? Because we are a lot more busier than we have been in the past couple of years or so, which is all good. Not complaining, but it does mean numbers are a tad smaller. We're a smaller group than we were when everybody was under the lock and key. Right, Gillian's just arrived for the midday movement snack, and it might well be time to get going. Just before I get going, I don't think my messages are coming up, actually. I was going to ask you. Here's one. Here's Chris. What challenges your balance in your day-to-day goings abouts? I'm a bit odd-eyed, aren't I, Carolyn? A bit cock-eyed, is that what it's called? Or boss-eyed? Or wog-eyed? Pop-eyed? If I turn that way, that's the good one? Yes, that's better. Hello. Right. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. I think some of you have had a couple of troubles getting to me, haven't you? I have been here, and I'm glad you've finally got to us. It means that you won't miss any of the content, and that's most important. I've been using a little bit of this and some hot water to give it a bit of a bathe. Nobody feels sorry for me, apart from you lot, though. Right, let's go. What are we? Thursday, the 28th of April, 2022. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton. This is 12 noon, starting with a circulation boost. Look, everything's still set out from earlier. External support, fixed, sturdy, something that's not going to move if you need to use it to support your balance. A sturdy dining chair, if you've got one. If not, we've got to make with what we've got. Make do with what we've got. Same with our body and our arms, legs, our limbs, our trunk. We've got to make do with what we've got. But let's try and make it a little bit better at the same time. So lifting up, holding onto the side of your chair if you need to assist some hip walking forwards. And take as many hip walks as you need to get yourself positioned at the front third of your chair. Once you're there, you can begin the foot pedals. You can quite quickly move into the leg marches if you like. And in standing, that's just the same. You might, when you get to the leg marches, feel like you need a touch more extra support. So use what's around you, or perhaps lighten your support if you're starting to feel more confident, more steady on your feet. If today's a good day for you, then you might feel happier to release some support. And that means that when you bring the arm swings in, you might feel okay to go both at the same time. But remember, you've always got that option to start with one, bring the second one in if you like, or switch sides. Now, when you switch sides, try not to lose your coordination. Opposite arm to leg is hopefully how you'd walk down the street. And you've got this comfortable swing from the shoulder, which is helped out by the elbows being bent and driving back a little bit. Just going to finish off in seated. You can, of course, stay where you are. You don't have to be springing around in different directions and places. Leave me to do that. I'll do that extra bit. You just pitch up where you are and get done. Right, feeling a little boost of warmth through your circulation, your muscles, your joints as well. All right, start to steady yourself down, settle the feet, bring the arms to a stop, have a little bit of a readjust and a wiggle if you need to, have a bit of a slump if you need to as well. It's only through some recoveries that we can actually put the best that we can put in on the actual movements in this movement snack. Right, let's have a look. What are the movements in this movement snack to start with? Okay, so we're going to do some opposition work. So this will require a little bit of trunk movement. This will require a little bit of arm reaching, a little twist, a bit of a knee lift or a heel raise to achieve some opposite arm to leg stuff. Let's have a look in seated first. So let's try and sit up tall, high onto your sit bones there, and just reach across to the knee and come back. Reach across to the knee and come back. Let your trunk move and make sure that what you are moving is comfortable. You might want to, as you reach across, draw the elbow back a little bit. So in the 8 a.m. we'd move slowly in and slowly out, but I want you to get that position and straight the way and then return back. Now in standing, you can have your feet a bit wider if you like. You can have your support in front of you. So actually you've got something to aim for. So we've got a bit of opposition going in there. Take a bit longer of a pause in the centre if you like, because sometimes twisting around, turning the head can challenge your balance or make you feel a little bit dizzy. We don't want this to make you feel like that. So keep your feet out wide, slow it down if you need to, and just think about the precision of your moves. Okay, so progressing on from there, we're going to have a go in seated at trying to lift the heel or lift the foot. Lift the heel, lift the foot. I tell you what, I'm going to go around that again. So I'm going to lift the heel and then lift the foot. And then at the same time, reach across, return, and then lift and touch the lifted knee. You can have a go at that in standing as well with the use of your external support, and perhaps just from that wider position that you might find yourself in, come in a little bit narrower. So we've got a lift of a heel and then a lift of the knee. The hand's still sliding across. A lift of the heel. It is a little bit more complex in standing. So if you want to just practice without adding the twist in. So it's rolling through the ball of the foot, picking up that same knee, and then have a go. Little heel lift, back to the centre, and then a knee lift, and then settle back down again. So hopefully with your external support there, you're able to manage, oh, forgot that bit, and not feel too unsteady. Although a slight bit of unsteadiness is good for our bodies to experience. Okay, so let's have a go at a knee lift. So do a knee lift and an opposite hand to leg. And then, if you want to, you can try and get opposite hand to foot. Sit up tall, take a pause. So opposite hand to knee and seated. And then a little bit of a turn out on the knee. Try and reach down your leg towards your foot. It doesn't matter if you don't quite get there. And then keep going around like that. Now in standing, if you feel okay and you want to let go of your support, you can have a go at a few knee lifts to start off with, alternating, and then have a think whether you want to try and get the foot up a little bit more. You will need to lean and tilt and just turn on your body slightly. If you're not happy letting go, that's absolutely fine. What we can do is keep one hand on external support and just do one side at a time. Come back to centre. So I've done 3 on that side, and now I'm going to try 3 coming down towards the foot. So these are coordinated moves. Turn around and have a go on the other side. Now I'm facing the support now. You might need to turn all the way around to the other side, face the other direction. Do a few to the foot. A little bit of adjustment in between each one you might need. And then stand tall. Super. Okay, so that kind of stuff will help us to get down towards our feet in a twisting motion with arms going, so it's multifunctional, not just singular move. We rarely do that in our day-to-day goings about. We rarely just move one thing at a time. There's always a lot going on. Okay, so we should have felt that started fairly easy, fairly doable, and then a little bit more complexy as we progressed it up a bit. Okay, right, let's have a look. Nice and simple, sit to stand. I mean, these are the key to being independent on your feet. Some of you might not quite be able to come into stand yet. Some of you might be quite happy coming into stand. It depends where you are on that working up towards. Everybody can start in seated though, so actually let's all do a sit, reverse, and we'll all work our way through the different levels of getting into standing. And then if you find you can't go any further on the different step ups, then of course stick with that particular one and just work to master that. Okay, so I really like this first bit, although it won't look like you're doing very much, but it will really fire up thighs, hips, bum muscles. Tuck the feet back. This is just going to be pressing the feet into the floor. So first of all, before we do that, lift up tall and just tilt forward slightly so you look like you're perched, you're poised, ready to go. Now, dig your feet into the floor. Push, like you're trying to push the floor downwards, and then relax. Have a go again. So push the feet down. You'll feel your body kind of lift up, and squeeze your bum muscles as well. The thigh muscles will fire, but your bum muscles you might have to concentrate on clenching. Do you like that action? Try again. Clench, pinch in, push in, through the feet. Okay, now if you feel those muscles working, you're on the right spot here. If not, just try and focus a bit more, squeeze a bit more, clench and contract the muscles. They should be feeling a bit tired now actually. You can boost it into a little jockey. So if you want to, go through that first one, press, 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 boost into a jockey lift with a bit of help from the arms if you like. Your boost can get a little bit higher and go back down again, or power up into a full stand. Bit of adjustment through the legs if you like. Now, if you feel happy, you can sit back down from here without actually walking the feet back. But if you'd feel more comfortable walking the feet back, you can then really feel that the chair's behind you and you know what you're sitting down into. Whereas sometimes if we've not got that connection with the calf muscles against the chair, you might feel a little bit like, oh, I'm not sure whether the chair will be in the right place for me when the sit down happens. So think about your level, push, boost, a bit more of a boost or a full stand or all of them, bit of adjustment. Now to make this a little bit more, work through the thighs a bit more, have a go at really putting the brakes on. Put the brakes on, creep down, hands you might want down by the side of you or external support. Control every inch down, centimetre and millimetre. Okay, so starting with a push and a clench and a squeeze, with a boost, with a bit more of a bigger boost, and then up into a stand. All right, those of you who would prefer to carry on and do this final move in seated, lower yourself back down, but otherwise you're up in standing anyway, and we'll do a little bit of stepping over. So you can have an actual object on the floor or an imaginary object. I'm just going to put a piece of paper down. So stepping over objects, multi-height, multi-level, we can come across lots of different heights and lifts and lips that we need to step over as we're moving, but also in seated. We may be in a place where we do need to step over something. It might be as you're getting in and out of the car, moving your legs in a lifting and placing action. Here's what we've got in standing. We've got support on the one side. The leg on the outside is going to do the step over. So bring yourself up to it, take a step over, shift, pick up that back leg and bring your feet back level again. Turning towards your support, have a look down again. I'm going to use the outside leg, tall posture, a good step, a shift and a pick up of the leg back. So you're kind of doing a bit of a leg cycle, I guess, similar. In seated. Now in seated, just make sure that you're able to comfortably get the item down or just have no item at all in front of you. And then we can lift, step, place and shift, lift, step, place and sit tall. Alternating legs on this. And of course, in that standing position, you will be alternating legs on the step over, but you'll be incorporating a steady turning action as well. So think of how many times you pick your knees up, pick your feet up throughout the day. Might be stair climbing, you might be stepping over a wall, you might be out in the countryside and need to get over a fence. There we go, that'll do in seated. And now retrieve my object through a reaching tall action. There we go, save that till later. And there we have your movement snack, everyone, for this noon. Okay, so there we have the content of your today's noon. Feel free to add a few more of those into your day a bit later on if you like. It's up to you. Depends what you're up to, doesn't it? Some of you might be walking, some of you might be going to a structured exercise class, who knows? But these movement snacks are just here to focus on the beauty of the stuff that we do day in, day out. Take what you want from it. Thanks all. You've always got plenty to crowbar in there, Gillian. Thank you. I might go for another eye bath and might get a little scaffold on it to kind of open it up a little bit. My eye, everyone. Okay, everyone, I'll leave you to it. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.